The NHL rumor mill is spinning once again, and this time, all eyes are on Colorado Avalanche star forward Mikko Rantanen, with speculation growing that the 27-year-old Finnish winger could be on the move. The Toronto Maple Leafs have emerged as a potential landing spot, sending shockwaves through the hockey community. If this deal were to materialize, it would be one of the most significant trades in recent NHL history, as Rantanen is a franchise cornerstone for the Avalanche and one of the most prolific scorers in the league. For the Maple Leafs, acquiring Rantanen would represent a massive statement of intent as they seek to finally break through and capture their first Stanley Cup since 1967. In this in-depth look at the rumors, we'll explore the factors that could lead to a Rantanen move, how he might fit in with the Maple Leafs, and what this could mean for both franchises. Rantanen's value, a top 10 forward in the NHL. To understand why this potential trade has created such buzz, we first need to recognize the caliber of player Mikko Rantanen has become. Since being drafted 10th overall in 2015, Rantanen has developed into a dominant defensive force. Standing at 6'4" and weighing 215 pounds, he combines elite size, skill, and hockey IQ, making him one of the most feared wingers in the league. In the 2022-2023 season, Rantanen notched 105 points, 55 goals, 50 assists in 82 games, shattering his previous career highs. His ability to score in all situations, whether at even strength on the power play or shorthanded, makes him an invaluable asset to any team. Rantanen has also been a clutch performer in the playoffs, playing a key role in the Avalanche's 2022 Stanley Cup victory. For the Maple Leafs, whose offensive core is already potent with stars like Auston Matthews, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander, the addition of Rantanen could create an offensive juggernaut unlike anything seen in Toronto since the high-scoring days of Matt Sundin and Doug Gilmour. Why would the Avalanche consider trading Rantanen? On the surface, it seems unfathomable that the Avalanche would even consider moving on from a player of Rantanen's caliber. He's been a key part of their resurgence over the past few years, and at 27 years old, he is in the prime of his career. However, there are a few factors at play that could make the Avalanche at least entertain the idea. First, the salary cap is always a looming factor in the NHL, and the Avalanche, like many contending teams, are feeling the squeeze. With Rantanen's contract carrying a $9.25 million cap hit through the 2024-2025 season, Colorado may have to make tough decisions to ensure they can re-sign other key players, such as Captain Gabriel Landeskog and star defenseman Cale Makar, while maintaining roster flexibility. Secondly, the Avalanche are coming off a disappointing 2023 playoff exit, where they were eliminated in the first round by the Seattle Kraken. General Manager Joe Sakic has a reputation for making bold moves when he believes they are necessary to improve the team, and with Colorado's championship window still open, he could view a Rantanen trade as a way to replenish the roster with young talent and assets. If the return for Rantanen were significant enough, think multiple high-end prospects, first-round picks, and perhaps even a player who can step in immediately. It might be a deal Sakic considers. The Avalanche are still built around Nathan MacKinnon, Makar, and Landeskog, so while losing Rantanen would be a blow, it might not close their championship window entirely. Why the Maple Leafs? For the Toronto Maple Leafs, the rationale behind pursuing a player like Mikko Rantanen is clear. They are in win-now mode. After years of playoff disappointment, including a second-round exit in 2023, the pressure on general manager Brad Treliving to deliver a championship is immense. The Leafs boast one of the most talented rosters in the NHL, but they have consistently fallen short in the playoffs, often criticized for lacking the kind of physicality and depth needed to go deep in the postseason. Rantanen's size, strength, and ability to score in tough areas would address many of those concerns. Moreover, adding Rantanen would give Toronto an embarrassment of riches offensively. A potential top line of Rantanen, Matthews, and Marner would instantly become one of the most dangerous in the NHL, capable of overwhelming opponents with speed, skill, and creativity. Rantanen's versatility. He can play both wings and is excellent in all situations. Would also give head coach Sheldon Keefe more options in terms of line combinations and matchups. Of course, fitting Rantanen's $9.25 million cap hit into Toronto's payroll would require some maneuvering. The Maple Leafs are already tight against the cap, and adding Rantanen would likely mean parting with some key players, potentially including Nylander, who is entering the final year of his contract. However, if Treliving believes Rantanen is the missing piece, it's a move worth exploring. What would a potential trade look like? If the Maple Leafs are serious about acquiring Rantanen, the cost will be steep. Any deal would likely start with Nylander, who has been a consistent scorer for Toronto and is coming off a career-best 40-goal season. In addition, Toronto would need to include at least one of their top prospects, likely Matthew Knies or Nick Robertson, along with multiple draft picks, including a first-rounder. Colorado would not be willing to part with Rantanen for anything less than a significant haul, especially considering his importance to their lineup. However, if the Avalanche are confident they can remain competitive without Rantanen, they may view this as an opportunity to build for both the present and future. For Toronto, the decision to trade Nylander would be difficult, especially considering his chemistry with Matthews and Marner. But if the Leafs believe Rantanen is the player who can help them finally get over the hump in the playoffs, it might be a risk worth taking. The impact on the NHL landscape. If a Rantanen to Toronto trade does happen, it would have ripple effects throughout the NHL. The Maple Leafs would immediately become one of the top contenders for the Stanley Cup, boasting an offense that could rival any in recent memory. At the same time, the Avalanche would signal that they are retooling on the fly, adding valuable assets to remain a perennial contender in the Western Conference. Fans in both cities would undoubtedly have strong reactions. Toronto, a hockey-mad market starved for a championship, would likely celebrate the move, while Colorado fans might be torn between disappointment over losing a star player and optimism about the future. As the offseason progresses, all eyes will be on Rantanen, the Maple Leafs, and the Avalanche. Whether this deal materializes or not, the mere possibility has already ignited excitement and debate across the hockey world. The NHL landscape is always evolving, and this potential blockbuster trade could be the next major chapter in the league's ongoing drama.